At RaiseCredit.com, we know it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how many times you get back up. At RaiseCredit.com, we've got your back up. You can get the life you really want. RaiseCredit.com.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ray. Last name is Reynolds. Please write it down. This is rayswebinar.com. I'm going to make sure I show you exactly what needs to be done to get to the $1 million dream. Yeah, I know everybody talks about it. Sorry to say, most people are full of blah, blah, blah. So let's get to this and have fun. Now, information is protected in many, many ways. You're going to hear things you've never heard before. As we do this, tablet, pen, please understand your brain, how it works. When you write it down, it records. So don't take pictures, write it down. Here's a phone number. All right, call 800-510-3338. Get a hold of the office here. So that's what we're going to do. You know, it's really weird. Every one of us have been knocked down many times. It could be your friends, your family, somebody ripped you off, who knows? We all go through crazy stuff, don't we? It's part of our journey. I think it's a test of faith and persistence. When I got to steal and beg off the pier as a 3-year-old boy, I had to eat. Kind of sucked. But I learned something when I was pulling those magazines out about rich and famous people. You see, I visualized it. Their house, their car, their money. I fantasized about it too. Let's see how I did. But I always do one thing. I plan on the problem. I always do. There's always something going to get in my way, knock me down, or piss me off today. So guess what? I want you to focus. I want you to write down safety credit. You know what safety credit is to me? It's a lifesaver. You know, every time I need some money, I have reserve, I have credit, I have a line of credit too. I have all what I need. We don't always want to use it. We don't want to abuse it. But it's nice to know this is $100,000 of credit today. This is a Venture and a Venture One card. They're $50,000 a piece. But they're personal cards. That's the biggest problem people have. When you got your first card, did you act like it was free money? See, here's the problem. Personal credit has to be called safety credit. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about through this overview. When it comes to corporate credit, we get to write off the card and the interest rate, and that's fun. So as we do this today, let's understand. It's called safety credit. It's called line of defense. See it, believe it, go get it. I think you should never bring the pain home. I think we're like Humpty Dumptys. We all get knocked down. We got the ability to get back up again and again. And I know a lot of you today, all right, you bought a book, How to Make Money and Get Rich, or you listen about those secrets. You know what breaks my heart is the people that are basically being closed down. Open, close, open, close. You see what's happening to all these people, and you might be one of them, or you might know somebody. You see, they got their business going, everything's going great, but they didn't plan on the problem. Neither did you. You see, their business today should have been a division or a subsidiary. And the reality is this. When you drive by that bank today that's been closed down before or during COVID-19, or the bank or the grocery store, understand what they did. They actually bankrupted that piece, wrote it off on their taxes, and they're still in business today. You see, you got a choice. I don't know about you. Me, my biggest thing is I don't want to bring the pain home. I didn't get a mommy and a daddy and got used and abused as a kid. I was lucky. God gave me an IQ off the chart with total recall in most things. So here's what's happening to these people. First, they're going to basically, their credit's going to be destroyed. Okay, they'll be forced into bankruptcy. If not, they're going to attach everything they got. They're going to lose everything. Family's going to be hurt, and they're going to bring the pain home. You know, if before it gets all screwed up more than it is, if they had a corporation and a division, they'd have a replacement. Every time you brought the pain home, did you have a replacement for you? Or were you the duck and you brought the pain home? Kind of sucks. So let's think about my journey a little bit today, and let's talk about your journey that will begin with me. I want to hold your hand. I haven't had a paycheck for 20 years. I brought in 100,000 at 9.5. I brought in $1 million at 14. I brought double billion at 26. How am I doing? You see, I was the second largest advertiser in Los Angeles for 32 years. So let's talk about my journey a little bit. Let's talk about yours. Do you really want it? Do you really want to go get the American dream? Or do you like just basically feeling like you're the victim? Some people like that. It's terrible. You see, I get it, and I call it getting past go. When I was a little boy from 3 to 10 years old, I got to be with Mrs. Hope. Mrs. Hope got her weekly and monthly checks. But you know what she did to me besides using and abusing me physically and mentally? She dropped me off at the pier every damn morning at 6:30 in the morning. 3 to 9.5 years old. Nobody gave a damn about me. All right, nobody even asked where my mom and my daddy were. Even I asked that question too. See, she was a she-devil from hell. But I knew one thing. I didn't like eating and stealing and eating out of a trash can. All day helping people just like you, the ones that really want to go get it. And I pray you do. You see, I wrote Winning the Game of Business 43 years ago. Had to move 24 times by the time I'm 11 and a half years old. Those people were mean to me on the 1st and the 15th. Probably because the rent or the mortgage was due. It gave them an excuse to be mean to me. So the reality is this. I learned how to connect the dots as a kid. Corporation's a legal person. I learned that at 7.5 years old. I started Helping Hand Industries. It went worldwide. I even started Orange County Blind Center too. I brought my first $100,000 in at 9.5. What about you? I brought in the million, 14, double billion, 26 too. I wonder if I can get you to listen today. I want you to let me do that. If you go to the BBB today and look at Lexington Law and CreditRepair.com, same company, they average 600 complaints a month. And on top of that, they got 4 government agencies file complaint against them today. You got a choice. Why doesn't credit repair work? Because why? All you're doing is lying to the credit bureaus. Oh, it's not mine. I was never late. I'm a fat liar too. Give me a break. You can't trick the system to build up your score because you don't even know the rules yet. You think the number's all you need. It's kind of like LifeLock. Mark, I knew him when he started it before. They've been indicted so many times, it's kind of a joke. Anybody paying them every month is kind of stupid. But again, what can you say? Let's start back with you. Can you pull out your Social Security card, please? Pull it out. It's in your wallet or your purse, ladies. You see, this is how we start. Remember, you were a teenager like me. We were told to get the SSN so we can get the job to equal the 1040 tax return. We're going to connect the dots for you today. You got one SSN. Oh, goody for you. And that makes you the duck. You see, if you look at the card in front of you right now, don't laminate, don't use for ID purposes, don't carry with you, it's not even yours. There's the application you filled out years ago. Pretty simple to do. And what happens now if you look at the card today? It's pretty simple. It says property of Social Security Administration. It's not yours. I don't get this. So I want you to understand something today. Please. Your banks and credit cards aren't supposed to use the SSN. It belongs to the IRS for the 1040 tax return. They're breaking the rules. So I got a rapid rescore program that blocks your crap and rebuilds you. I own all the rights. No one on the planet can do it besides me. Maybe you want to listen and learn. You never know. I like to repackage your life, your house, your car, your bank account. Is that okay with you? If I clone me into you? I don't know how many of you know billionaires that want to help you, but I wasn't the billionaire with the 2.6 billion. It was all under corporate structure, not me. Who in the hell wants to pay tax on that at all? You got a choice today. We can play. Because credit saved my life as a kid, as an adult. So what happens next? Oh, good, money for a rainy day, blah, 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 some more. My life, it doesn't rain, it always pours. I've had 10 things happen last week and the week before. Between the fires in the backyard and the trees falling down. Are you kidding me? And the election bumping all our marketing too? I just want to scream. Oh, well, at the end of the day, nobody really cares. besides me. So let's think about something today about you. You need $5,000. You need it now, now, now. You're going to ask your friends and your family and the bank. They're all going to say no. You should have had a $5,000 credit card in your hand like I do right now, or one on the screen. You see, safety credit is there to not use it and abuse it. But you got an emergency, you go cash advance. The payment's $50 a month. Do you know the average person wastes that almost every other day? Is that you? The reality is this. It's pretty simple. They say the average person wastes $140 a week. Is that true about you? You know, that's $600 a month. Now, the venture and venture card, if I max out either one of these at $50,000 a pop, my payment is $612.26. So let's understand something. All right? So what the average person pisses away, I could have used one of these cards today if I had to and go get 2 pizza locations. Can you imagine? That's $24,000 of cash flow, and pizza stays open through COVID-19. Maybe you'll stop wasting some money. I train people to be millionaires and billionaires. It's half the fun. Now, like I told you in the beginning, I want you to plan on the problem. Someone's going to get in your way, piss you off, and try to take it away. But if you got safety credit and you understand the line of defense, you'll be able to see it, believe, and go get it every day. The bottom line is I want to repackage your life. You got to look at your goals you want to have. You're going to have to believe in you. Now, I believe in God and I believe in me. When I broke the world record for the highest kick in 1981, that just proves one thing. White men do jump. Just stupid people say we don't. Never listen to someone say you can't do this or that. God gave you a gift and a dream. Go get it. I don't get it. That SSN, that was for what? 2 little write-offs and a 1040 tax return. That's all it was for. But understand something. Now you got an Aspirin, an Equifax, a TransUnion too. You know what happens next? You jacked up the card past 29%. You dropped your score, got stuck, couldn't get any more. Is that true about you today? You got a choice to learn how to play the game. I just want to rebuild everybody in the world today because it's kind of fun for me. I have been bored. My wife says this is my hobby because I don't need to work. But again, if I'm not helping you, I'm not keeping my promise I made to God in that coma. The other reason why you got an SSN, we're the collateral for the United States of America Incorporated. So understand, Nixon took the gold standard out. Then they print some more money every day. So let's write a list. You ready to write down what I told you with the pen and the tablet I told you to get? Remember, Ray's rules, $100,000 of credit for you, safety credit. All right, we don't use what? More than 29%. I get people all the time, Ray, that's too much credit. And I always ask, do you ever lose your job? Yeah, I was scared to death. They're going to take the house and the car too. Well, let's understand something today. Don't think, just do what I tell you to do. $100,000 of credit, you use only 29%. That's $71,000 of safety credit. In case you lose your job, you can feed your family to 1 to 2 years, or maybe there's a pandemic. The biggest problem most people do to start a business, they take the money and the credit from the family and they roll the dice. Please never hurt your family. Never bring the pain home. You never had to do that in the first place. You've been doing it wrong all along. Let's teach you how to play. Yes, we all got a sad story to tell today. There's me in a coma at 5.5 years old. I hit the curb with my face going 40 miles an hour. Plop! And then they told me I'd never walk again in my life. Hell, I got up anyway. There's me in another coma in 2009. There I am waiting to die. I made a promise that day because I ended up dying at 5:41 in the afternoon. Kind of sucks. So here I am with swine flu pneumonia. First they called the pandemic 9, COVID-9, then H1N1 too. They couldn't make up with their damn mind. But there's my yacht, my race boat. Where you park yours again? I'm the most verified person on the planet today. All right, not only because I was the second largest advertiser for 32 years. You have no idea, but guess what? I get to die in a coma. I make a promise I get to come back and help you. You gonna pay attention today? All right, I hope you do. You see, I came out of that coma. I had to have an oxygen tank for 5 weeks. I put my credit score back to an 820. Then I popped a $1 million credit card again. I don't stay down, and guess what? If you play with me, I'll make sure you never stay down. I'll teach you every which way to protect your assets and always win, because I like to win every time. So the bottom line is up to you. You like bringing the pain home? Don't do it anymore. God saved me to help you. All right, pay attention today. Today, COVID-19 can wipe us all out. We don't get a do-over. We get to live or die. Is guess what? It's very simple to do. It takes a moment to die and a lifetime to live. Which one are you going to pick? It's up to you. You got a choice today. As we learn how to play the game, let's go chase the money. You see, I love money. I'm going to tell you the truth. I love money. It's one of my top 10 things. Not my top 5, but my top 10. You see, when you have total recall, and if I close my eyes and I think when I was 3, in Redondo Beach Pier, eating out of that friggin' trash can and begging and stealing, not only can I smell it, I can still see it too. What money does for me is pretty simple. I get to pay my bills, get to feed my family. I don't have to steal or beg off the pier, and I can help you. You gonna pay attention today? I pray you do. You see, most people hate their job. We're getting older, slower. We're not as pretty as we used to be. Go back to the job you hate. It's okay. Eventually, they're going to fire you anyway. Then you're going to drive an Uber and deliver some pizza. Won't that be the American dream for you? Now, I live by the Bible and I live by my books too. So what I got to do is pretty simple. Mrs. Hope, from 3 to 10 years old, she devil from hell. Every Wednesday night, they had a poker game. I came out of my bedroom, which is actually the pantry next to the garage. I wrote my little notes. They thought it was weird, probably true. Do you know what they said that day? They said a corporation's a legal person. I wrote it down and circled it 10 times. I couldn't wait to get to the library the next day next to the Torrance Police Department, because I just heard my way out of hell if I could figure it out. You know, I can guarantee you in your office or your home, you have 1 to 5 books, how to make money, secrets, some blah, 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 someone else's stupid story today. How about the motivational crap too? They're all going broke today. You see, I read that book when I got to the library. I asked the lady, how do I look it up? Here's a microfiche, here's a book. I read the book. Reading a page at a time with a total recall brain and an IQ off the damn chart. You know what? I'm looking for the blueprint. I'm looking for the rules, the tools. I'm looking for the way to get out of hell. I read the book. I got pissed off. At the end of the day, all that book said was a corporation's a legal person. See, here's the problem with this world today. Most people go blah, blah, blah. See, I've been taking on anybody in open forum for 43 years. Knowledge to knowledge, neck to neck, having fun. I got no excuses, but they run off the stage when they play with me. I got so pissed off that day, I went to the library from 7.5 to 9.5 years old. You see, what I did is I created the books and CDs myself. I got tired of blah, blah, blah. There is 12 books and CDs right in front of you. That is the Millionaire's Founders Kit. That's how I brought in the first 100,000, million, double billion too. Then I actually did what's called Real Estate 1, 2, 3 books and CDs. You don't want to know why? I had $841 million of real estate before my coma in 2009. You see, I like real estate. It's kind of fun. Now, I got to be a consultant for banks for many years. So I wrote a book called Buckets of Money, Tax Balancing, and Become the Bank Too. Don't forget, I wrote Winning the Game of Business. All right, so let's understand. I was at the Bonaventure every Wednesday night for 32 years. Had a line around the hotel selling that for $20,000 a pop. But guess what? I'm coming out of that coma. All right, I was helping a company called basically Credit Hotline. When they all went home in March because they wanted to get that extra employment check, we looked in their warehouse and we found my books and CDs. So if you want your first 1,000 rules, it's in the books and CDs. There it is. If you want to know what a homestead blocker is, a UCC one with a chattel mortgage too, I invented them 32 years ago, by the way. If you're really going to do real estate like I did, you're going to need to know the secrets too. So the bottom line, how about financial series? Buckets of Money, Tax Balancing too, Become the Bank. Now let's understand. When you set up the line of defense, every one of these So I don't know if you like blue cards. Blue's my favorite color. These are all 50,000 apiece. I can get one of those for every entity, Division 2. I like the gold and the platinums because the 29% rule doesn't affect it. Would you like 10 of these? See, you get to push them up to $1 million a piece. But again, how much line of credit would you like? Ray's Rules, Buckets of Money. It's in those books and CDs. Maybe today you'll want to learn how to play. The office sells this for $20,000. No, they give it away for $9.99. Today, through the webinar with me, listen very carefully. I want to get you the 18 books and CDs, but I still want you at the workshop with me tomorrow. I'm going to give it to you for $299. That's why it's a giveaway. $299 to you. But I need you to do me a favor. We take Zelle wire deposit during COVID-19. So the bottom line is I need you to Zelle $299 like now while you're listening to me. That way I can ship it today or Monday first thing. You see, here's the goal. All right, you need to have your credit rebuilt. I need to do a rapid rescore, block all the crap. I need to get you the credit lines, all right, personal and business too, teach you the rules and the tools, corporations, books and CDs and classes. All day tomorrow, I want you in line with me. Write it down, please. Every card you have in your purse or wallet today, I want you to be looking at the limits. I want you to understand I want to stick you behind every card. Every card has to be at 25 to 29%. You jack it up past that, you drop your score, you got stuck, you couldn't get any more. The reality is you're going to learn the rules and tools. I've got to make you a qualified CFO. Do you understand that? All right? I've got to make you a qualified CFO. I got $10 million of history on my dashboards for you. If you allow me to, I can pop you cards as I rebuild you. That's how it works today. You see, write down CFO equals you, because that's what I want to do. I want to get you all the credit. So let's understand what I get to do. I get to take one of my cards. We'll just pick one. And what do I get to do? I get to get a second card off my card for you and ask for separate billing. Which one you want? How many do you want? But let's understand, we got to get safety credit. Can't write it off, leave it alone. Corporations and divisions and more. Not only we get to write it off, but now we found the money we've been looking for. How much do you want? You want $10,000 to start? You want $25,000 too? This will be up to you. I like getting the gold cards for a couple reasons. Pay over time. From there, I can push them up to $1 million too. And if I get one for you, I'll hold your hand. I might even give you a call too. So if we get one and we push it up to $100,000, would you like 9 more? Doesn't that make what? $1 million of credit today? But again, this is up to you. I don't know how much you're going to want to get that American dream. 4 points of making money with me. First, we'll talk about real estate. Maybe a fixer-upper, a duplex, a fourplex, an apartment complex too. Next thing, we got to look at a franchise. We're going to get a pizza, a McDonald's, a Taco Bell, or a Wendy's too. They stay open through COVID-19. We might even do profit sharing too. From here, it's pretty simple to do. Leveraging money and credit. By the way, there's 84 ways to turn these into 99 more cards. But that could be $100 million. That's too much. Let's just get you 3 or 4 ways to play. Now let's look at a Lamborghini today. Like I told you earlier, house, car, bank account too. Everybody you see that are driving company cars today, rich and famous people, they write it all off, but not you. You're getting your paycheck. It's already been taxed. You got the leftover to pay your bills. You pay for a car you should not. And if you start a business, you're taking the money and the credit from the family, rolling the dice and say, honey, let's hurt the family some more. Why aren't you driving a company car? Why are you not getting a car into a tax ID and fleet price? Are you really the registered owner of the car you drive today? That means you have a bullseye on your back and you're the duck. You see, what you should be doing is going to the workshop tomorrow with me so I can show you how to get the car fleet price and tax ID. See, here's the problem. You're using your paycheck. I hear that call that taxable income today. Are you paying the payment, the gas registration, and the insurance too? You know what? Can you yell the word no right now, please? Tomorrow we're going to be talking about tax IDs, fleet price, and everybody gets a company car. It's your turn. All you got to do is play. Now let's look at an SS4 form today. All right, understand something. Unless you use affiliate like me, you're not going to build it up at all. But let's see what I can do for you. Look at line 10. I love it. It says banking and credit purposes. We're allowed to build the credit to the tax ID. We get to write off the card and the interest rate too. And what do we get to do? We get to write it all off. But you didn't get it as a person. Now listen carefully. Corporation, line of defense, division, subsidiaries, and more. I want you to understand something today. You got that tablet and pen? Write down the first square, then the three below that too. Here's the thing. A corporation should never do business. It should get credit. It should maintain and manage the divisions, like the banks, the grocery stores, as the Buffetts and the Warren Buffetts and the Gates and the Reynolds do. You got a choice to learn how to play. You see, debt follows tax ID. Remember, I'm the guy who wrote the rules in 1986. Let's create the line of defense. Don't bring the pain home again. But again, that's on you. If you allow me to, I can build you in a Spirit, an Equifax, and a TransUnion too per tax ID. You get to write off the card and the interest rate too. You want to play? You better be with me tomorrow, all day. You got some choices. SS 4 times 4. We don't name a corporation after ourselves. We don't name it what it does. We got to set up the line of defense. Why? Because always something going to go wrong. That's how you got knocked down the last time. You weren't packaged correctly. So we'll get divisions for real estate, franchise, current business. If you allow me to, I can get you up to $100,000 card or tax ID or $1 million card too. Which one would you like today? I already tried offering you $100,000 of personal credit, but that's got to be safety credit. Can't write off the card or the interest rate at all. Please never bring the pain home. Ray's rules are pretty simple. Your SSN was for the 1040 tax return. The SS4 is for credit banking purposes all. We get to play the game. We get to win. The bottom line is going to be up to you if you want to listen and learn. SSN's 1040, 2 write-offs, goodie. But that makes you the duck. You got to leave that alone. SS4, banking and credit purposes, and write off the credit and the interest rate too. I think we're going to learn how to play. Now today, if all you want me to do is rebuild your credit, okay, not a problem. All right, I'll get you an 820 credit score, and I'll even guarantee it. The credit rebuilding, the rapid rescore is usually $4.99 a piece. The office does one thing for you. They sell it for $9.98. But I do something different when I do the webinar. Listen carefully. I always give you half price because I don't get a commission. I'm not getting a paycheck too. Then I want to hand you $5,000 of cash credit back to you. All right, by the way, I always make sure that's 10 times your investment. So here's what it works today. If you Zelle during the webinar with me, all right, $4.99, you're going to get a $5,000 cash card back to you. The extra bonus, if you want a corporation, or if you have one, you want to learn more, you get to the workshops with me. So I'll give you the articles, the OS list, the tax ID, corporate setup, level 1, set up the divisions and more, as a free bonus if you Zelle that right away. If you Zelle that within the next 20 minutes, you get the extra bonuses today. It's pretty simple to do. Now, the only difference between this one and the next one is pretty simple. Corporate, basically, this is corporate setup too. Office sells it for $19.99. I got to give you half price because you're getting it through me. I'm going to hand you $10,000 of credit, by the way. 10 times your investment. That means it's only going to cost you $9.99. With corporations, classes, and basically stuck with me. Can you imagine every time you watch your favorite movie, you can say the lines before they do? That's why you're going to go to corporate setup for 90 days online with me, and level 1 for setup divisions too. Now, if you want $25,000 of credit, oh, I forgot I added this today. It's only good if you did it right away. Sorry. If it's not done in 15 minutes, forget it. I'm going to give you one phone call with me. Yeah, you and me, we're going to build a relationship to make sure we don't screw this up. Yes, I want you to have a list of questions too. But the next thing, and this is millionaires in the making. See, I believe every one of you should be a millionaire in the making, just like my cat was, just like all the homeless people I take off the street too. Normally, it's almost $4,000 to you. But I want to give it to you half price. Is that okay with you? $25,000 of credit, 10 times your money back to you. All right, it's going to be $2,499 today. And I'm going to give you 3 phone calls with me if this is Zelled right away. If it's not Zelled right away, you just miss on the calls today. Zelle is right there. Every bank uses that. Wire deposit too. Take a picture of the page. That way you have it ready to go. As we do this, I want you to spend the rest of the day with me tomorrow as we play. Remember, if you're a client, you get referrals to us, we're going to always add you another $1,000 of credit to your package too. So the bottom line is this. If you're watching me on Google, Facebook, and YouTube, that's kind of fun, but you're missing the PowerPoint in front of me. All right, you might want to go to raiswebinar.com, get the full overview, never bring the pain home. Again, it's up to you. What I heard at 7.5 years old is right in front of you. That's right. It's not legal advice at all. It's Chapter 18 for corporations. Look at it. It's right there. A corporation's a legal person. Oh, that changed my life from eating out of a trash can to millions to billions. So let's understand, corporations have more rights than you and me. You got the ability to understand the United States of America Incorporated today. They've got basically their line of defense too. It's called states. All states are corporations too, but not you. And you know what the state did? They set up all those divisions. Oh, I'm sorry, they're called cities too. Those cities are corporations too. So you know what they did, just in case something went wrong? They created a Chapter 9 bankruptcy. And you watch them follow that in a couple cities in the past too, right? Here's the line of defense. It's your turn to set up your line of defense too. But you remember, this is your constitutional right. You are we the people. But again, that's up to you. You're stuck with me to learn how to play. Nixon took the gold standard out, gave him the key to the printing press. Mama delivered a baby this morning. And what happened next? You and me, we got our SSN when we were a teenager to get the job that equaled to the 1040 tax return. Now you connected the dots. Oh, Mama, if she doesn't sign that SSN form when the hospital hands it to her within 3 hours or less, the baby's not going in the stroller. Car seat can't go home. By the way, it's federally mandated. They want to know how much more money to print. You got a choice today. Remember, please, SSN, Social Security card, that's called safety credit. Corporation, we're going to use a tax ID so we can write it all off. Interest rate and card too. We're going to create the line of defense for every one of you. So the divisions are kind of fun in case something goes wrong with a piece. We keep all the other pieces too, just like the grocery store and the bank do. Stop bringing the pain home. If Mr. Trump can do it, so can you. Rich and famous people can do it, so can you. The city can do it, so can you. Isn't it about time you set up your line of defense for you and not bring the pain home ever again? You got to learn how to play. Now tomorrow, 1 o'clock, guess what I'm going to do? I'm the one who gives you your status updates too. You're stuck with me all the way. And I broadcast twice a day, Monday through Friday and all day Saturday. They're always live. I don't like pre-recorded crap. I might ask you to do 1 or 2 things. Can you do that and follow through? All right, let's look at Mickey. Mickey's nice. Why? Because everybody loves Mickey. They filed bankruptcy 7 times in the past, kind of like a couple of you. Recently, you know what they did? They got $1 billion in the bank. They didn't want to pay tax, and they know how to play the game, so they wrote an IOU to themselves. That's all they had to do. If Mickey can do it, so can you. You ready to play? Personal credit again, safety, put it aside, corporation. Now listen carefully. Online, you're going to see trade line crap, all right, which is crap. Okay, understand that. We don't need that at all. And all the other blah, 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 or, supply credit. Excuse me. We're getting you cash credit per division. How much would you like? 9 lines of credit per division. Then after we get to cash, which is king and queen, we'll decide if we want supply credit, vendor credit, marketing credit, lease credit, gas cards too. You see, I like to coach you the rest of your life and have fun with you, but I still got to make you a qualified CFO. That's what we have to do. So I'll take and add a card for you. How much would you like as I rebuild you? You got to get the personal card, got to get the business card too. This is safety. This we get to write off all. We get to have fun. Would you like $10,000 to start out with or $25,000? Let me know. Would you like a gold card too? Push it up to $1 million? Get the first card, you get a call with me, and I'm going to make sure you know how to push it up to the 100,000. And if you want 9 more, let me know too. Now what excuse you got? Again, if all you want is an 820 credit score, I'll rebuild your credit, rapid rescore. The office sells it for $9.98. On the webinar, you get it for half price with me. I even give you a $5,000 CAD card back to you. That's 10 times your investment. So right now it's $4.99. But you got to Zelle before I'm done with the webinar. Next thing from there, the extra bonus today, in case you wanted a corporation or you got one, get you to the workshops too. To make sure you can learn how to do the rules and the tools too. There you go. Articles, also tax ID, workshops with me, 90 days. Isn't that going to be fun? The next two, the only difference is simple. It's the amount of credit. They want $19.99. No, $9.99 with me through the webinar. $10,000 of credit and all the goodies to you. The next thing is you get one phone call. But that means you got to Zelle it right away. If it's not Zelle before I'm done, sorry, you're not getting a call with me. Next thing is, guess what? $24.99. That gives you $25,000 of cash credit. 10 times your investment back to you. The next thing happens is you get 3 calls with me. You see, I'm allowed to give away my time. They're not allowed to at all. So you better be Zelling today. If you want to play, Zelle, wire, deposit. It has to be done today before I'm done with the webinar, by the way. I studied Mr. Buffett's father first, and I studied him. He owns 100 companies plus and his favorite 10. He's playing the game. Why aren't you? Why aren't you playing and winning too? See, every time you bring the pain home or jack up your credit or file that bankruptcy, you get something screwed up on you because you didn't set up the line of defense. The bottom line is, like anything else, authorized users crap. So is trade lines. As an affiliate, I got to make you a qualified CFO. After I'm done rebuilding you, all right, and show you 113 ways to daisy chain credit every one of these cards into 99 more. We got to talk about corporate credit. It's the only thing we get to write off at all, and that's how it works. It's pretty simple to do. As we do this today, it's Ray's rules. So as we do this, here's some bars for you. So let's understand something right away. Please don't ever think you're going to rip anybody off or defraud anybody, please. Because me, I've got to do one thing. I'd have to testify and get you in a court of law. So let's understand something today. Here's 3 divisions floated in front of you. Here's a corporation, line of defense. What happens if something goes wrong with one of those pieces, like a bank or a grocery store? We're going to do the 3-step. You ready to write it down? See, we're going to call it the Donald Trump, the city, the rich and famous people too, or Wells Fargo too. We get to do what they got to do. We get to disconnect, isolate, incorporate the piece. If we can't save it, we get to bankrupt the piece, keep the other pieces too, and never bring the pain home. That'd be silly and dumb, don't you think? We got the ability like when you bought your house. Sorry to say, I'm going to probably say you did it wrong anyway. You should have been escrow closed, escrow homestead, escrow recorded in a trust. I want you to understand something. If your assets are not in a trust today and somebody sues you, they take everything you got. If you die, it's stuck in the probate. Your family got diddly squat. You might just want to think about that today. Let's go fix up a property. What are we going to do? Hire the contractor. Remember I said I want to protect and repackage your house, car, bank account too? The contractor's going to hire this subcontractor. It's down outside Home Depot. Good workers. What if they cut every corner they can, they slip and fall, and they sue you and take everything you got? Why don't you quit clean deed all those pieces of property into a division instead of you? Why don't you make sure you do an assignment of equity too? So at the end of the day, they can't sue you at all. What do? They get diddly squat. Why not? Please do yourself a favor today. Google irrevocable trust. That's what I would pick if I was you. It's all up to you too. See, we got a choice today. Got to fix up that property today. But I want you to understand something. We have to obey the rules. The IRS is the rules. Corporations do not pay tax till they make a profit. If you try to play peekaboo with the IRS and make a mess, go to irs.gov, download a form called 656 of 433 A and B. Get your COVID-19 check, get your butt back in the system today. So let's think about it. We still got to fix up that property anyway. I want you to do it my way, if you would, please. I want to show you step by step every division going back to the manufacturer. saving up to 70%. I don't want you to pay a bill for 30 to 60 to 90 days. See, I'm the original OPM, by the way. So what's going to happen is when you pay off all the bills, when you close escrow on their property, because we're using their money to fix it up too. Now we got up to $200,000 left over. Don't act like you're rich, because you're not. Did you or have you had $10,000 to $100,000 in before and you kind of pissed it away and you're broke today? Please write down Ray's rules, leveraging money. Borrow money's not taxable. Please understand that and write down line of defense. You know, when I had my office in Irvine Spectrum, 22,000 square feet before the coma, locations around the globe doing $1 million a day, helping people like you. Every morning the bank would be at the office at 9 o'clock in the morning going, Ray, what can I do for you today? The banks always kiss your assets when you got money. And when you don't have a pot to piss in, they don't know your name. I want you to learn how to leverage the money times 5. So if you listen to me, remember the banks borrow from the feds times 10. Loan back 5 to us. So the bottom line is pretty simple. That would have gave you up to $2 million. You know what it costs for a McDonald's today? $2 million to borrow money. Let's get you a Big Mac, a fry, and a chocolate shake. You want one? Let me know. See, beating your own doubt today. It's pretty simple to do. I want you to run your race, but I want to hold your hand and coach you the rest of your life if you allow me to. I'll show you some goodies, but it's going to be true. It was mine. I don't like showing someone else's blah, blah, blah today. So we look at the mansions, the helicopters, and the yachts too. Got to get you past go. I think you're all stuck anyway. God's gift to me is pretty simple. All right, that's the largest U-Dock in Huntington Harbor, where I park my yacht, my race boat in my backyard. Where you park yours again? Helicopter, Lamborghini building too? Can you do me a favor right now? Please write down to change your driver's license, please. I'd like you to change it to a mailing address or a P.O. box. You wrote a check the other day. You pulled out your driver's license, you're over here. But they're going to go, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to go rob your house today. If they sue you, they can take everything you got. Please protect your assets. Understand, we got the Schaefer Bill in California, the Driver's Privacy Protection Act too. We got the ability to do this correctly if you want to. It's pretty simple today. The last time you bought a car, you let somebody sweat you for hours on end. Oh, I don't understand why. You lost $5,000 up to 9 inquiries too. When they handed you the paper saying we need to run your credit, you should have put next to your signature allows 1 inquiry only. You should have took a picture. That way you don't bring the pain home. Well, the thing that really frustrates me is you're driving a car today, are you not? Are you really the registered owner? That means you're the duck. You see, you could have bought the car under tax ID and fleet price. We're going to be covering that tomorrow at level 1 instead of class 2. Every one of you need to be there. I'm serious about that. So if you went to that grocery store or the bank today and you bump someone's car, a little bumpity bump, maybe they're going to act like they got whiplash. They're going to die. They're going to ask you for your driver's license, insurance, registration, please. The driver's license got your home address on it? The corporation's paying for the insurance for the car you drive, right? You're not really doing that out of your paycheck, right? Oh, you're the registered owner too? I don't get this. I want every one of you tomorrow, in level 1 in setup class, immediately. You have the ability to protect your assets. But right now, you're the registered owner in the car you drive today. That means when they call those nasty attorneys on TV, they're going to sue you and take everything you got. Like I said before in the beginning, plan on somebody getting in your way, pissing you off, or trying to take it away. I'm going to show you exactly how your registered owner can be a division of the corporation and not you. That way, at the end of the day, they get diddly squat. Again, you need to be at that workshop tomorrow. It starts at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Don't you dare miss that tomorrow. First class I'm going to do, all right, is 7 o'clock for real estate. But you're not in that one. You should be too. What did I do? July 3rd, 2009? I took my yacht from my backyard. There's the address at the time. I said fill it up with $1,600. Wrote off the card, wrote off the interest rate, and wrote off the yacht too. The next day, I'm in a coma. I get to die and make a promise to God. And I get to come out of the coma. walk around for 5 weeks with an oxygen tank. I put my credit score back to an 820. I popped $1 million credit card again. Remember, I want to make sure you know how to play too. I don't want you bringing the pain home ever again. God's using me to help you today. You paying attention? Keeping my promise. I named my son and my daughter after me. Eventually, when I do die, the Reynolds University will be my legacy. It's pretty simple to do. That Lamborghini in that building under tax ID. Reaching the dream. Thinking be the impossible too. See, Ray's rules, there's 20,000 of these you need to master here. Once you gain the knowledge, no one can take it away from you. All I want to do is start you out with 90 days with me, doing the workshop and the workshop with you. I want to do all the work for you at every seminar, workshop, and boot camp too, because I want you on the $1 million dream. I don't pass the buck. And you can trust a written guarantee or your money back. It's a pretty simple thing to do. The ability now, about motivation today, I listen to it every day. I really do. I think motivation's what we all need. But at the end of the day, it's still blah, blah, blah. See, you got a story to tell today. I want to get you up to the 820. I want to get you up to 100,000 of safety credit. I want to get you a corporation in divisions 2 up to $1 million of credit too. See, I want you to stop being stuck. I know how to get you unstuck and know how to rebuild you too. But again, you should have done this in the beginning. So we're going to repackage you the right way and never bring the pain home ever again. What's next for you is pretty simple. It's me. You and me, we're going to build that and get you to know the 20,000 rules. The ability not to bring the pain home. Like I said in the beginning today, I want to repackage your life, your house, your car, your bank account too. The ability to not bring the pain home ever again. The books I listen to and I read all the time, Bible first, then mine. Pretty simple. When I created the Millionaire's Founders Kit, Real Estate, Financial Series, and Winning the Game of Business. So I want you to understand something. Yes, this is a do-it-yourself, but I still want you in the workshop with me. Your first 1,000 rules are in those books and CDs. The real estate system too, financial system too, buckets of money, and how much credit would you like? You got a choice today. The office sells it for $9.99. Today, during the webinar with me, you can get all 18 books and CDs for $2.99. But that'd have to be Zelled immediately, wire deposit. If it's not done during the webinar, sorry, you're going to have to call sales because they're going to sell it to you. They got to get their commission. It's all up to you. If you want the credit rebuilding, and the bottom line is the office likes to sell it for $9.98. That's a good price, by the way. But I'm doing a webinar, and I like to always give people during the webinar half price. So what happens today, that is $4.99 to you. Then I hand you $5,000 of credit back too. I want to make sure you get 10 times your investment. No excuses anymore. And if you did this right away, the extra bonus to you is if you want that corporation, articles, tax ID, and the setups classes too. Tomorrow at 10 o'clock, I want you in level 1 in setup class 2. But I need you to do it right away so we can add your email and your name, all right, to get you invited too for the list of the people in the webinar with me. This is simple. This comes with 10,000 of credit. They normally sell for $19.99. I give it away for half price today. I get you one phone call with me, long as it's done right away. This is basically 25,000 of credit, $2,499 to you. It gives you 3 phone calls. You and me are going to talk. I'm going to make sure we don't screw this up at all. I'm going to make sure you're going to get the $1 million dream. But again, those 3 calls are only good if you're zelling immediately. Wire deposit. If it's not happening before I'm done, call sales later on today or Monday. Not a problem, but they can't give away my time. So you got to do it through me if you want to talk to me. How the 14th Amendment of the Constitution made corporations into people. Well, I love the United States of America. I really do. But I'm the kind of weirdo, as they told me before, that I reanalyze things 1,000,000 times. Every time I go play a game, I read the rules again and again before I play you. The United States of America today, they maintain their 50 states. All states are corporations. They maintain their cities too. They've got their line of defense. Isn't it your time to set it up too? It is your constitutional right. Never have joint credit. All right, when you buy a house, it's escrow closed, escrow homestead, escrow put in a trust. Corporation, don't name it after you, or don't name what it does. Have up to $1 million of credit. Set up the line of defense for real estate, franchise, current business too. If you don't set up the line of defense and understand what I'm talking about today and getting the workshops with me, you're going to stay stuck and you're going to basically bring the pain home again. You've got to understand how to master Ray's rules and tools. The bottom line is this, like I said, I want to repackage your life. Plan on the problem, safety, credit, line of defense. You'll learn a little bit about it today. Tomorrow I'll be in workshops all day helping you too. You got ability. You don't have to be Humpty Dumpty anymore. The thing is, 2020, first fiscal year, 2021, you got to realize on January 2nd, it's now 2 years old. If you're not doing it today, you kind of blew it. You got less than 16 working days left. I got to prepare the paperwork, get it to you. You got to sign it, send it away. The American dream, pretty simple to do. All right, receiving money every month, pay all your bills, drive the company car, go on a business trip, help other people, free up your time. Understand something, you got to set up the line of defense. It's very simple. Ray's rules, there's 20,000 of these. You got a couple things. I'd like to get you the 820 credit score. Office, $9.99. Today, you get half price if you did it through me and you Zelled it right away. $5,000 back to you, it's $4.99. The extra bonus if you did it right away, you'd be in the workshops with me tomorrow at 10 o'clock for setup and level 1. And get articles if you want them too. Now you're stuck with me. So the corporate setup's got all the pieces too. The difference is this gives with $10,000 of credit to you. Half price, it's $9.99. The difference is now you're stuck with me and you're in tomorrow's class. See, by Zelling this immediately, Scott's going to add you to the webinar tomorrow. You'll be at 10 o'clock and basically in the morning too. You got the ability to get one call right away. But again, if you miss it, you miss the opportunity again. Millionaires in the making today. Instead of about $4,000, it's simple. It's $24.99. And you get $25,000 of credit 10 times back to you. And the bottom line is this comes with 3 phone calls with me. Now we're going to have some fun. So the goal is very simple. You can Zelle, wire, deposit immediately. If you did call the office, tell them flat out before they start talking, I was just on webinar with Ray, because they want to upsell you about all kinds of other stuff. Don't let them give you off basically chart. What you need to do is stay to focus. So stay safe, stay strong. At the end of the day, wondering what's next to come, let it be you and me. Let us always remember life is a gift from our Father in heaven. God has given us the opportunity to believe and receive. Let us make the best of the day and give thanks in every way. Thank you, Jesus, for one more day. Amen to that. You have the ability to Zelle, get half price, get phone calls, all kinds of goodies today. If you want to call 800-510-3338, do it right away. Tell them you were on a webinar. Sales team always want to get off to 10 other directions. This is today, so you can be in the workshops with me tomorrow, starting at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You have 800-510-3338. At the end of the day, don't ever forget, God loves us all.